This the 70/30 show. What the hell do I know? But you know what I would like for everybody to do though? That is to not be shy with that like button. Don't be scared of that subscribe button. Share the video and help your brother grow. Why? Because this another reaction video on the 70/30 show, and you can't say the 70 without the 30. Now this reaction video is going to be about SANETER wife and brother polight wives. I feel like they owe the community an explanation, and they need to be held accountable for brother polight pedo behavior, allegedly. Now, before I get into videos and why I feel that the wives need to be held accountable, I want to show you guys the age of consent around certain places around the world. But I want to key in on Nigeria, because Nigeria age of consent is 11 years old. And I'm going to be playing a clip with brother polight. He's going to be talking about how we need to go back to Africa. He mainly going to be speaking about Ghana, but he's going to give mad respect for Nigeria. And so it's just quite strange how, we have this Pan-African movement, one of the movements, the House of Consciousness, and we can even throw the Nuwapians in there. They tell us all the great things about Africa, but they never get into Africa sexual practices. I mean, I never seen a show on it, you feel me, coming from the House of Consciousness and with the Nuwapian Nation. But it's just quite strange how not all, but some of these guys in the Pan-African movement, has been accused and have been convicted, for dealing with minors. Dr. York been convicted. Africa Bambaataa been accused. Polight is in court right now. But nevertheless, man, it's the 70/30 show. What the hell do I know? Hit that like button, man. We finna get into it. Fair use. Now think, as we getting lower in the ages, you don't think that when some of these people come from these certain places and they come to United States, that they don't want to practice pedophilia because it's common from where they come from. That's just my opinion though. But this the 70/30 show. What the hell do I know? Let's continue. shoot. Hold on. But y'all seen Nigeria. I want to go back a little bit. It was moving kind of fast there. But you see Nigeria right there, 11 years old. And I want y'all to pay attention to this because it's going to tie into my video. So now we're going to go to polight, basically giving a shout out to Nigeria.
I don't know which way I can.
The doors have been opened by way of the Ghanaians forced to come back because they recognized how we left and how we've been stripped of our identity. So the go back to Africa is kind of like, if we don't go back to Africa, there's no amount of success we can have anywhere around the world that will revoke this process until we return to the place we were stripped of or stripped from. You know, someone took us from our home. So it doesn't matter if we make America our home or anywhere else. We got to go back to where they took us from, because obviously there was a reason why they took us from over there. So for me,
fair use.
I'm like, that's why I got a home out there now. I'm going right back to it in a few days, actually. After I go to LA, switch some clothes finally. I've been going back and forth to New York. And, you know, taking my baby girl, my wife here, I'm in that, and we out. But I have to go back. They're making concessions to us on account of history. And people could say they can do more. Look, they the ones that enslaved you. You know, Negroes say everything, but I mean, y'all always upset. Now someone says, we're sorry, and we're going to meet you some of the way. We're going to give you land if you're willing to build. We're going to make it easier for you to get visas. We're going to give you the right to abode, and it's going to be easier for you to get dual citizenship. What else do you want? And no one else is giving us anything because of what we've endured. You feel what I'm saying? And it's a developing city, and it's neighboring the best economy in the continent of Africa. It's neighboring the best economy in the continent of Africa, that of, in the case of Nigeria. It's 1 hour away from Ghana. Nigeria is an amazing place, too. It's a very amazing place. They've given birth to at least 3 billionaires, right?
So you heard him. He said Nigeria is an amazing place. Now, I did the age of consent, and I wanted y'all to key in on Nigeria age of consent, which is 11. So in this video, I'm going to be showing, allegedly, but this was out of SANETER mouth, Renentet, that's not your daughter. And I'm going to be showing the video where polight is saying Renentet, you know, he's basically claiming that Renentet is his daughter. But when I show you the video of Renentet, she's going to be around the age 11, 12 years old. You see what I'm saying? And basically, Renentet is supposed to be a cousin of SANETER's wife. But we're going to get into it, though. But y'all just heard him. We'll go back just a little second where y'all hear him big up Nigeria.
Says we're sorry, and we're going to meet you some of the way. We're going to give you land if you're willing to build. We're going to make it easier for you to get visas. We're going to give you the right to abode, and it's going to be easier for you to get dual citizenship. What else do you want? And no one else is giving us anything because of what we've endured. You feel what I'm saying? And it's a developing city, and it's neighboring the best economy in the continent of Africa. It's neighboring the best economy in the continent of Africa, that of, in the case of Nigeria. It's 1 hour away from Ghana. Nigeria is an amazing place, too. It's a very amazing place. They've given birth to at least 3 billionaires, right?
All right, bam. Like I said, man, the House of Consciousness and the Pan-African movement, they love to big up Africa. So let's go to this clip here.
That SANETER talked about your kids. Who are you talking about?
Huh? You ain't talking about Tasia, right? You ain't talking about her, right? You ain't talking about Tasia Barnes, right? I know.
Now look at, he's giving, SANETER's giving a government name, but I guess once you start, you know, being a Pan-African, you go from your American name and then you given an African name. So once you given an African name, in my opinion, I guess you're gonna practice the African culture. And part of anybody's culture is their sexual activities and behaviors. But it's the 70-30 show. What the hell do I know?
No, you ain't talking about her. I knew her before you, Polight. You ain't talking about her, right?
You heard SANETER. He said, I knew the little girl before Polight knew her. You see what I'm saying? Because that is a relative of his wife. That's why she needs to be held accountable, right? And she owed the community her explanation. But let's continue.
The one you call Renente, you ain't calling her your daughter, are you?
So supposedly, Tasia Barnes is supposed to be a little girl that Polight and his wife groomed, but they portrayed it to the community that this were their daughter Renente, but supposedly she wasn't. She was getting groomed to be one of Polight's wives, and SANETER knew this. And during this time that SANETER is speaking on, Zion Lex knew Brother Polight. That's why I said, is you saying the information that you have now because now the information is public and the police got involved? This the 70-30 show. You can't say it without the 30.
Don't do it. Don't make me fucking do it, nigga. Huh? Little Dr. York, don't make me do it, nigga. Little fucking Dr. York.
And he calling him Dr. York because Dr. York is accused of being one of the world's most worst pedophiles. That's what he is accused of, you feel me, by the so-called justice system. This the 70-30 show. You can't say it without the 30.
You ain't talking about her, right? The one that you call Renente. Huh? Nigga, that ain't your daughter, nigga. Cut it out. Don't make me bring her sister right here in front of me. Her sister is my wife's cousin, nigga. You know that.
Now, you heard SANETER. He just said, man, you heard him, man. We're going to play it back. I ain't got to repeat it. Just know that, hit that like button and that subscribe button and share the video. You feel me? By the so-called justice system. This the 70-30 show. You can't say it without the 30.
You ain't talking about her, right? The one that you call Renente. Huh? Nigga, that ain't your daughter, nigga. Cut it out. Don't make me bring her sister right here in front of me. Her sister is my wife's cousin, nigga. You know that. Play yourself.
So, his sister, wife, cousin. So, with this little girl that SANETER is talking about, there's 3 women involved that damn near know the situation and ain't nobody called the authorities. So at the end of the day, you know, how serious is SANETER with this pedophile situation that is going on with Polight? And 2, how serious is the whole conscious community about this, about these allegations with Brother Polight? I mean, nevertheless, I'm way over here in Oakland. You know what I mean? Alright, that was just, because I had already reacted to this video. So that was just, you know, me reacting to it when I did. But now let's go to Renente and let's see how old you guys think she is. I believe it's this video here. Let's blow this thing
Hey,
up.
what's your name? Where you at?
Meskin'e Atumre, Renintere Tumre.
Oh, righty. And whose beautiful children are y'all?
Brothers Lights.
So that's Renente right there. Let's hear her say her name again.
Meskin'e Atumre, Renintere Tumre.
Oh, righty.
All right, guys, how old do y'all think she is? To me, she only look around 11, 12 years old. That's why in the beginning of the video, I wanted to show the age of consent, basically in the age of consent in Nigeria. Now, I did do my research. You know, I'm not gonna just act like, you know, they haven't made any changes, but I'm not sure. But I guess in 2020, they raised the consent to the age of 18. But 2020, that's only 3 years ago. This video of Renente that I'm showing you guys right now, this video was 10 years ago. So 10 years ago, Nigeria for sure, age of consent was 11. So now, right, and this little girl right here is supposed to be related to SANETER's wife, according to the words that came out of SANETER's mouth. So that's why I feel like Cynthia need to get on camera and address these allegations. Yeah. Come on, mama. Yeah, nah. Come be held accountable. Come sit down on the be held accountable chair. Now look at this. So now we're gonna go to Polight Wives, right? So we're gonna go to the interview that Polight did on Jesse Lee Peterson channel, right? Hold on. Give me one second.
Are you still trying to lose weight with
Fair use.
exercise alone? Guys, it ain't gonna happen without the right diet. That's why there's Nutrisystem.
To engage her and present the idea to her. And did.
Okay, now, before I play this, this is why I feel like Brother Polight Wives should be held accountable. So in this interview, Jesse Lee Peterson is going to be asking Polight, like, if he has the control to basically go out there and get a wife when he want to. Polight is going to say, no, he's not in control of that. He has to get permission or consent from his wives to do so. So, if what SANETER said, if Renente is related to SANETER's wife, then that will mean that Amunet approved Polight. She gave him permission. She approved it. That it will be okay for him to basically groom Renente to be his fourth wife. And if that is true, Amunet needs to be held accountable for helping Polight in the process of grooming a minor.
I am so restless, and this changing world leaves me speechless. I am lost for words, but I can't.
Fair use.
Welcome to the Fallen State. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Today we're talking about the state of Black Americans and the Black family. I have with me Brother Polight. He's an author of 90 books, as well as a motivated speaker and celebrity mentor. He's joined by his two wives, Ra'et and Amunet.
Correct.
Thank you guys for coming. Two
for
wives. That's amazing. So you have, how many wives do you have?
4.
You have 4 wives. And so you are polygamist?
Yeah,
Define that for me.
a construct in which there's a male and several female counterparts engaged in a relationship.
How many females are allowed to be involved?
It's indefinite, but of course, I get the consent from the females.
So you say, you wake up one morning, you know what, honey, I think I want another one.
That wouldn't work.
But
You see right there, he said, nah, that wouldn't work. So he can't just get up on his own and go out there and bring a woman back to the house without the permission of his wives.
how do you get the consent? How does that happen?
Well, there has to be a necessity for another female to be part because it's economically structured. So when we want to embark upon a new endeavor that can make all of us the benefactors, that'd be the thing that would commence the operation.
Give me an example of a situation that requires number 2 wife.
Well, this is the first wife that got involved with this relationship. I've been with Aminette for 19 years. We've been together since 12, 13 years old.
That's amazing.
And so,
Since you've been 12?
Yes.
Wow.
As we grow and we develop, we began to understand more about economics, and we wasn't really left with any inherited wealth. And considering that wealth really begins at $150,000 a year, and the threshold for poverty for a family of 4 is about $32,000 a year, and for individuals about $15,000 a year, neither her and I combined would get us anywhere near the point of being able to amass real wealth. And so we use the polygynous construct as a catalyst to embark upon those type of endeavors. So we opened up a bookstore and we needed assistance. And so when I presented the idea to Raed, whom we knew for a period of time because she used to come to the bookstore, we then found out where we can establish some kind of reciprocity or something that could be mutually beneficial for her and for us.
Were you surprised when here you are in the bookstore and the owner walks over to you and says, hey, I'm looking for a second wife, what do you think? Were you surprised?
That's exactly how it happened. Yes, I was.
So
it's not something that you're exposed to.
Right, that's right.
Initially. Like, we don't learn this in school.
Right. And so what was your first impression, your first thought when
The first thought I actually had was, I was just like, does she know?
Right.
That was my first thought. It was natural because
that's right.
When I started coming, I was really young. So I actually looked.
How old were you at the time?
I was like 17.
Oh, okay.
I was 16, 17. My mother used to go to the bookstore. And so I seen them two together and I was just like really happy for them. She was pregnant and she looked gorgeous. Like, she just was this dark African looking queen with her afro, and I was just like, wow, so that was the first thought I had. I was just like, does she know, but yeah, that's pretty much the first thought.
And then so he says, yes, she knows, and you say, okay, let's talk, the three of you, or did you just bring her home?
No.
What we did, we all talked. I, of course, got permission from my wife.
You heard him right there. He said he got permission from his wife to basically be with the second wife. And in order to be with the third wife, he would have to get permission again, maybe from both wives, and so on and so forth. So if the fourth wife was Renintet, who SANETER said was not his daughter, then he would have had to get permission from the first wife, from the second wife. The third wife and the fourth wife is obviously not here, but evidently in order for the fourth wife, allegedly it's supposed to be Polight's daughter, out of SANETER's mouth, would have had to get permission from her and the third wife for Polight to, basically do what he was doing. So all three of these women, in my opinion, groomed that young girl if what SANETER is saying is true. And what Brother Polight is saying is he has to get permission.
But yeah, that's pretty much the first thought.
And then so he says, yes, she knows. And you say, okay, let's talk, the three of you. Or did you just bring her home?
No.
Oh, what we did, we all talked. I, of course, got permission from my wife, Aminette, to engage.
You heard him. He said he got permission. That's why over here on the 70-30 show, we don't promote going 50-50 with your woman, because once you go 50-50 with your woman, now you can't tell her what to do. You have to ask her what to do, and then she can turn around and take the 70 and leave you with the 30, and now she's telling you what to do. You see, Polight, he had to get permission. You see what I'm saying? This shit is crazy. But like, this the 70-30 show. What the hell do I know? But you know what I would like for everybody to do, though? That is to not be shy with that like button. Don't be scared of that subscribe button. Share the video and help your brother grow. Everybody will be getting held accountable for their actions. Stay tuned for the next reaction video.